Ladies and gentlemen, please stand at ease and remain standing for the invocation by Cadet Daniel Skaggs.
Please bow your heads. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together for this special occasion. There has been a lot of preparation for this day, and thank you for your guidance to enable this to take place. I pray that you would bless each and every commissionee, may they succeed in their endeavors and strive to serve you and honor you. I ask that you would give them their strength and protection. Give to them all wisdom and understanding. May they exhibit a character that pleases their country and our God. And may all that they do be considered well done. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Good morning and thank you for attending this very special and important occasion. I'm Cadet Justine Wolf, and on behalf of Sacramento State University and Air Force ROTC Detachment 88, I want to welcome you all to this morning's commissioning ceremony. To begin, I would like to introduce and recognize the distinguished visitors we have in attendance. Please hold your applause until all have been recognized. Your host for today's commissioning ceremony and Commander of Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps Detachment 88, Lieutenant Colonel Richard Aaron. U.S. Transcom Liaison to U.S. PACOM, Scott Zipwald. Colonel United States Air Force Retired, Ross Victor. 452nd Maintenance Group Superintendent of Operations, Chief Master Sergeant Brian Keithley, and Chief Master Sergeant United States Air Force Retired, Sammy Lee. Additionally, we are honored with the presence of our commissionees' guests, especially those who are joining us this morning from out of town. We appreciate the sacrifices you have made to be here this morning. We know that you are proud of the commissionees, and we are all thrilled that you were able to make it. Please join me in extending a warm Sacramento welcome to all of our guests. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the speaker for today's event, the Detachment Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Aaron.
First, welcome, and I want to say thank you one more time for three groups of people. First and foremost, for the cadre, please stand. And former cadre. I know there's at least three here in the crowd if they would stand as well. Thank you for your time and your direct impact, there they are, for your direct impact on the commissionees today. Second group I'd like to recognize are the active duty Air Force members outside of the cadre member. If you can stand, please, as well. Thank you for your influence on the commissionees. And last but not least, by far, and the most important, would all the parents please stand? You guys have given years upon years to make them happy. And thank you. When the cadets asked me to do the opening remarks, they weren't as gracious as Cadet Wolf mentioned with the guest speaker. So, as the speaker, I think it was because they wanted me to keep it short, and understandably so because of the heat, so I will do that. But I did want to share with you a couple of things that went through my mind as I was thinking about that we needed to address this morning. First and foremost, I could start off with saying how competitive ROTC has become over the past couple of years. The commissionees that will be commissioned here this morning represent less than 50% of their class when they started. That's a tremendous cut and it shows the greatness of their capabilities and their competencies to make it this far. Or I could talk about as well as the significance of the event itself in terms of what each individual means to me. In just the short year I've been with them, I've seen excellence and leadership demonstrated at multiple levels, and I could go down the line one by one, giving you an example of each. We'd be here much longer than you probably care to be in the sun. So I discounted that approach. The third approach I thought of is the significance of the event today, the bigger picture of this. What's going to happen this morning when each commissionee comes up to take the oath of commissioning, they will be standing before a being mightier than themselves, asking for divine assistance to make good on a superhuman oath. And if you have any questions of whether or not it is superhuman, look to our fallen comrades over the years who've given their ultimate sacrifice and the incredible effort, determination, and commitment it takes to make that sacrifice. And that is no less of the sacrifice that may be called upon each one of them. That oath is a tremendous event, And in doing so, when they take that oath, they will join the 5% of the living Americans who've ever done that in the country today. And I can also tell you that they will, at this moment in time when they take that oath, they will outrank 50% of the airmen in the military today. So all said and done, that's a tremendous event. While each of those is worth bringing up, I don't want to hit that. Instead, I want to hit an experience that touched me about a couple years ago in the desert that I want to share with you because I think it captures best what it means to serve in the military today, and then also what I see in each of these commissionees today. In 2004, I had the privilege of being an aircraft commander of a C-130 air crew flying combat missions into and out of Iraq and Afghanistan. We flew over 100 combat missions, and on one of them in particular, we were blessed to carry an Iraqi VIP. This individual was a front runner in the Iraqi provisional government race. When I found out he was on board, I offered him a seat on the flight deck and offered him a headset as well for part of the flight. And I never failed to appreciate what he told us when he was on headset that day. It started out with, first, he showed a great love for our founding fathers. He knew the founding fathers. He could quote Abraham, even though Abraham came a little bit later, but he could still quote Abraham, Washington, Jefferson, Madison, Hamilton, Franklin. He could quote them better than probably any of you know better than me. He also knew the three-system government better than any of us that I've come across, and he understood the Constitution better than most Americans. That in and of itself was impressive, but what underlied that impressive nature was his motivation. And this is what he shared with us as the crew. He said for the first time in thousands of years, his country and his countrymen are able to put together the democratic government, and that gave him great hope and great joy. And at that moment, I had instant job satisfaction. Because for me, even though my part was so small in this world and in the U.S. military, I still recognized that I was able to provide some small piece of that hope to a new country. And that's what I see with all the commissionees out here. I've seen you impart hope to your classmates. I've seen you impart leadership and faith and the vision of seeing something greater. And I know you carry that forward into the Air Force, and I'm thankful that you do. Because the Air Force needs it, and more importantly, the world needs that hope that you bring. Even no matter if you're at the remote places of Thule, Greenland as a space operator, or if you're in a robust American city such as Tampa as a contract officer, each one of you have something to contribute to the world. Don't ever forget that. I'm going to save my last couple comments for the closing remarks. With that, I think we need to turn over to start the commissioning ceremony.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Aaron. At this time, we will now proceed with the focal point of today's ceremony, the commissioning oath and promotion to the rank of second lieutenant for our officer candidates. Additionally, the new officers will receive their first salute. Before we begin, Detachment 88 would like to thank Lieutenant Colonel Marvin Neal, United States Air Force retired, of the Sacramento chapter of the Military Officers Association of America for providing second lieutenant bars for all of our 2012 commissionees. Additionally, I would like to take a moment to explain some of the history and tradition behind the commissioning oath and the first salute. The commissioning oath can trace its lineage back to the loyalties pledged by Roman soldiers. Today, the commissioning oath continues to be taken by all officer candidates of the uniformed services. Individuals who take this oath are commissioned by the President to uphold the Constitution of the United States at all costs. It has no mention of time duration and therefore stands as a lifetime affirmation for all officers who take it. These individuals consciously volunteer to go above and beyond the rest of their peers and serve their country, choosing to put others before themselves. The oath they take remains in effect until the nation determines their duty is complete and they are relieved from it. The salute is rooted in the days of chivalry, when it was customary for knights in armor to raise their visors to friends for the purpose of identification, as well as a sign of respect and allegiance. Today, the first salute stands as an honored military tradition. It has been referred to as the silver dollar salute because the new lieutenant proudly hands a shiny silver dollar to the first enlisted person who salutes him or her. Since 1792, the silver dollar has traditionally been the only coin given in exchange for the receipt of respect due to the newly earned rank. Beyond this, the bestowing of a coin signifies a deep sense of gratitude with the new officer for the knowledge of the enlisted airman. The first salute is an acknowledgement from one military professional to another that says, "Welcome to our service, welcome to the profession of arms." That being said, let us begin. At this time, I would like to remind you to feel free to take photographs during the commissioning oath, pinning of the rank, and the first salute. However, please save your applause for the completion of all commissionings. Will Cadet Bloomquist please step forward? He will be commissioned by Captain Justin Barrett. Congratulations, Lieutenant Bloomquist. Kelly, his wife, Leslie, his mother, and Michael, his father, will perform the pinning of the rank. Lieutenant Bloomquist will now receive his first salute from Technical Sergeant Michael Pritchett. Thank you, Lieutenant Bloomquist. Will Cadet Bookman please step forward? She will be commissioned by Major William Bones.
Sorry.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Bookman. Julie, her stepmom, Esther, her mother, and Barry, her father, will perform the pinning of the rank.
Come out. Follow. Follow.
Lieutenant Bookman will now receive her first salute from Gunner's Mate 3rd Class, Brianna Langley. Thank you, Lieutenant Bookman. Will Cadet Crawley please step forward? He will be commissioned by Lieutenant Commander Todd Hornbuckle. Congratulations, Lieutenant Crawley. Emily, his fiancée, Christina, his mother, and William, his father, will perform the pinning of the rank. Crawley will now receive his first salute from Master Sergeant, United States Air Force retired, William Crawley, his father. Thank you, Lieutenant Crawley. Will Cadet Guzman please step forward? He will be commissioned by Lieutenant Colonel Richard Aaron.
I realize that you all can't hear, so I'm going to try to get loud so that you can hear the oath that we're actually taking. Raise your right hand. I, John Guzman, having been appointed a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force, swear to support and defend the United States Constitution. All enemies, foreign and domestic. I bear true faith and allegiance to the same. That I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office upon which I'm about to enter. So help me God.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Guzman. Marcella, his wife, and Vincent, his close friend, will perform the pinning of the rank. And Master Sergeant Butterfield. Lieutenant Guzman will now receive his first salute from Master Sergeant Brett Butterfield. Thank you, Lieutenant Guzman. Will Cadet Harris please step forward? He will be commissioned by Lieutenant Colonel Roel Zamora.
I, Master Billy Harris, having been appointed to the do solemnly swear I will support the United States of the United States, all enemies foreign, against all enemies foreign. No favor, fair, grandfather, what? Not any mental restraint.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Harris. Bill, his grandfather, Lauren and Stephanie, his sisters, Kathy, his mother, and Paul, his father, will perform the pinning of the rank. Lieutenant Harris will now receive his first salute from Specialist Paul Gallion. Thank you, Lieutenant Harris. Will Cadet Jordan please step forward? He will be commissioned by Colonel Scott Zipwald. his first salute from Senior Airman Javon and Jessica Jordan, his brother and sister. Cadet Lee, please step forward. He will be commissioned by Captain Rafael Carranza. Congratulations, Lieutenant Lee. Alyssa, his sister, Carol, his mother, and Sammy, his father, will perform the pinning of the rank. Lieutenant Lee will now receive his first salute from Chief Master Sergeant, United States Air Force retired, Sammy Lee, his father. Will Cadet McNellis please step forward? He will be commissioned by Captain Molly Stanley.
Sorry.
Congratulations, Lieutenant McNellis. Michael II, his brother, Mary, his mother, and Michael, his father, will perform the pinning of the rank.
Tough it out.
Lieutenant McNellis will now receive his first salute from Senior Airman John Kirk. Will Cadet Parkinson please step forward? She will be commissioned by Major William Bones.
You worked really hard. Come on up, come on. Oh, that's right. Cry? Let me cry once. Once you cry, you talk about the beginning, you got your hand.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Parkinson. CJ, her fiance, Jana, her mother, and Dan, her father, will perform the pinning of the rank. Lieutenant Parkinson will now receive her first salute from Master Sergeant Camila Parada.
Nervous?
Will Cadet Ricks please step forward? He will be commissioned by Colonel, United States Air Force retired, Ross Victor. Congratulations, Lieutenant Ricks. Josefa, his fiancée, Gail, his mother, and Donovan, his father, will perform the pinning of the rank.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, who's that?
These aren't your clothes.
Is that Donnie?
Those are components.
Okay, I'm gonna take those.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Salona. Ashley, his fiancée, Nina, his mother, and Aaron, his brother, will perform the pinning of the rank. Lieutenant Salona will now receive his first salute from Master Sergeant Jesse Salona, his father.
Your grandpa's
Will Cadet Stroop please step forward? He will be commissioned by Lieutenant Colonel Roel Zamora. Congratulations, Lieutenant Stroop. Mark, his father, Jennifer, his mother, and Dennis, his stepfather, will perform the pinning of the rank. Lieutenant Stroop will now receive his first salute from Technical Sergeant, United States Air Force retired, Bob Clausen.
We're gonna go up there.
Thank you, Lieutenant Stroop. Will Cadet Takosa please step forward? She will be commissioned by Lieutenant Colonel Roel Zamora. Congratulations, Lieutenant Takosa. Ezra, her brother, Elizabeth, her mother, and John, her father, will perform the pinning of the rank. Lieutenant Takosa will now receive her first salute from Staff Sergeant, United States Air Force retired, Vernon Jackson, her grandfather. Will Cadet Walker please step forward? You will be commissioned by Lieutenant Colonel Richard Aaron.
I, Max Robert Walker, Lieutenant appointed United States Air Force, do solemnly swear Steven. I'm sorry.
Congratulations, Lieutenant Walker. Brett, his brother, Betty, his mother, and Robert, his father, will perform the pinning of the rank. Lieutenant Walker will now receive his first salute from Chief Master Sergeant Brian Keithley. Thank you, Lieutenant Walker. Will Cadet Winkler please step forward? She will be commissioned by Major William Bones. Congratulations, Lieutenant Winkler. Austin, her husband, Susan, her mother, and Dale, her grandfather, will perform the pinning of the rank. Lieutenant Winkler will now receive her first salute from Sergeant United States Army retired Dennis DeSplinter. Thank you, Lieutenant Winkler. At this time, we would like to welcome Lieutenant Colonel Richard Aaron, Commander of Detachment 88, to the podium for one award recognition and closing remarks.
Thank you for bearing with us this long. I will be brief again. There's one award in particular that the Air Force offers to every formal training program. This award is so significant that there's no smudging of the numbers, if you will. It goes to the top 10% of the graduating class, and it's done specifically top 10%. So for this class, we have 19, you have 15 on stage now, 4 to come later. And in that, we can only give 1. They don't even round up. That's how significant this award is. It'll stay with their formal records for the rest of their career, and will always be as a banner on any time they win this award. Will be as a banner on their performance reports, and every time they go for promotion. So this is a very significant award. It's called the Distinguished Graduate Award. I'm going to turn it over to Cadet Wolf to go ahead and, if you would please, request you to stand to the attention while we give this award.
The United States Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps presents the Distinguished Graduate Award to Lieutenant Matthew Harris of Detachment 88, California State University, Sacramento, for demonstrating outstanding ability, initiative, and leadership qualities desired in the Air Force officers.
What you all didn't see in the stands is what they have on their seats are 2 things in particular that I want to point out. One is a commissioning certificate. They can show you that later, and you can get pictures with family and friends with that afterwards. The other one I want to call your attention to, though, is the Air Force coin, a commissioning coin. In the military, we have a tradition of an organizational coin, and that organizational coin often bears the emblem of the organization, and on the back a motto from that organization. Because these new lieutenants have now fully joined the Air Force finds it appropriate to give them an Air Force coin as their first organizational coin. On that coin are the 3 core values that matter the most to the Air Force: integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do. I mentioned in my opening comments how that they're going to carry hope into the world, and that the world sorely needs it. Unfortunately, as well as sometimes in the Air Force, we need it as well. And to my chagrin, sometimes you'll come across airmen as you're in the blue who start to doubt whether or not the core values really are true and that they're really worth living up to. That's where I implore you to keep what you've learned. You've lived those the past couple of years. Take those forward and carry them out. Because the moment those core values start to crumble away, the oath that you've just taken and the power of it starts to diminish, and the profession of arms that we are proud members of becomes nothing more than a job. And heaven help us and our country when it becomes that way, because then we'll lack the power to give the ultimate sacrifice that we may be called upon to do. So please carry what you've learned, know who you are, because you've lived these core values and they are part of you, and hold us all accountable. And with that, I'm going to close with saying, welcome to the Air Force. I'm proud to serve with each and every one of you. Go off and do great things.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join us in singing the first verse of the Air Force song, which is located on the back of your program.